Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In my last lecture, I have discussed about the definition of range space and null space. Today I am going to discuss the property, the subspace property of range of T and nullity of T. So let UF and VF are the two vector spaces and let T is a linear transformation from U into V, then range of T is a subspace of V. In order to prove that range of T is a subspace of V, firstly we have to define what is range of T. If you have watched my previous video, I have discussed that range of T contains all the images of the elements of U under the transformation T. So obviously, this range must be non-empty set, because if you are able to define a transformation from the domain space U to the codomain space V, then there must be some range space also, and that must be an empty, that must be a non-empty set. So if this set is non-empty, we can take two elements in this set. So let beta 1 and beta 2 belongs to this range of T. If there are two elements in this set range of T, then corresponding to these two elements there must be some pre-images. So then there exists alpha 1 and alpha 2 belongs to the first domain space U, such that T of alpha 1 is equal to beta 1 and T of alpha 2 is equal to beta 2. Now if we want to prove that this forms a subspace, we have to show that A beta 1 plus B beta 2 belongs to the range space of T. If we are able to show that, then only we can say that range of T forms a subspace of the vector space V, where A and B are coming from the field F. Now A beta 1 plus B beta 2. At the place of beta 1 we can write T of alpha 1, and at the place of beta 2 we can write T of alpha 2. So this becomes A dot T of alpha 1 plus B dot T of alpha 2. This can also be written as T of A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2. Now, since U is a vector space, and alpha 1, alpha 2 belongs to U, and for AB belongs to F, the linear combination of these vectors also belongs to U, that is A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2 also belongs to U. So the image of this element under the transformation T, this must belongs to the range of T. This implies T of A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2. This belongs to R of T, that is range of T. And this implies that A beta 1 plus B beta 2 belongs to R of T. So we have taken two vectors from the R of T, and we show that the linear combination of that two vectors also belongs to R of T. This implies that R of T forms a subspace of the vector space V. Now we will show that the kernel of T, that is the null space of T, also forms a subspace of U. Remember that this range of T forms a subspace for the vector space V, and this null space of T forms a subspace of the vector space U. And why it is, I will tell you it at the last of the lecture. So let's do the proof of the subspace of U. So firstly we define the null space of T. So it is the collection of all those elements of U which are mapped onto the zero element of the vector space V. Now we have to prove that this set is also a non-empty set. Since T of 0 equal to 0, this is the property of linear transformation, that 0 element is always mapped to the 0 element. So the 0 element of the vector space U will always be mapped to the 0 element of the vector space V. So there is one element that is mapped onto the 0 element of the vector space V. So we can say that therefore at least 0 must belongs to the nullity of T or null space of T. So there is one element that belongs to the null space of T. So we can say that null of T is a non-empty set. Now if this set is non-empty, there must be some elements. So let alpha 1 and alpha 2 be the two elements of the null space of T. Now if they are the elements of null space of T, then the image of the elements under the transformation T must be a 0 vector of the vector space V. From here we can say that T of alpha 1 equal to 0 vector and T of alpha 2 is also equal to 0 vector. In order to prove that this null space of T forms a subspace, we have to write let A comma B belongs to F, and we will show that the linear combination of these vectors also belongs to the null space of T. Now since U is a vector space, then if AB belongs to F and alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the elements of U, then A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2, this also belongs to U because U is a vector space. Now by the definition of linear transformation, T of A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2, this can be written as A into T of alpha 1 plus B into T of alpha 2. Now by the definition of null space of T, this can be written as A dot 0 plus B dot 0, that is a 0 vector. So what we have got that T of A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2 is also mapped to the 0 vector of the vector space V. So if this element belongs to U and this is mapped onto the 0 vector of the vector space V, then this element must be a member of null space of T by the definition of null space of T. This implies A alpha 1 plus B alpha 2 also belongs to null space of T. From here we can conclude that we have taken two elements from the null space of T and two scalars such that the linear combination of that two vectors is also going in the null space of T. So null space of T forms a subspace of V. Forms a subspace of U. Now since range of T and null space of T both are forming subspace, and every subspace has some dimension, whether it is finite dimensional or it is infinite dimensional. So the range space of T forms a subspace and its dimension is called the rank of T, and the null space of T also forms a subspace of U, and the dimension of this space is called nullity of T. Rank is generally denoted by rho. So rho of T, that is rank of T, is equals to dimension of R of T and nullity of T, this is denoted by eta, nullity of T is equals to dimension of null space of T. Now I am going to take one example of a linear transformation in which we see that how to determine the rank and nullity of the given transformation. So the example is as follows. Prove that the mapping T from V2 over R into V3 over R defined as T of AB is equals to A plus B, comma A minus B, comma B is a linear transformation from V2 over R into V3 over R. I have taken one vector AB from V2 over R and this is mapped into the V3 over R, so it is in the form of triad. So we have to prove that this forms a linear transformation, and that I have discussed in the previous lectures, so you can watch it there. Today I will try to find the range, rank, null space and nullity for this transformation T. So in order to find the range, we have to calculate the image of all the elements of V2 over R under the transformation T. Now, since 1 0 0 1, this is the standard basis for V2 over R, is a basis of V2 over R. So if we find the image of these elements of the basis of V2 over R under the transformation T, they becomes T of 1 0 equals to 1 plus 0, comma 1 minus 0, comma 0. That is 1 1 0. So this is the image of the first vector of V2 over R under the transformation T, that is 1 1 0. Similarly we can find the image of second vector of basis, that is 0 comma 1, and that will be 0 plus 1, 0 minus 1, comma 1, that is 1 minus 1 1. So that's the image of second vector 0 comma 1. Now we know that range of T is spanned by these two vectors, that is the image of 1 0 and 0 1 under the transformation T. So R of T is spanned by spanning we means that each element of R of T can be written as the linear combination of T of 0 1 and T of 1 0. So that's the meaning of spanning. So if the range of T is spanned by these elements, so these elements belongs to where? V3 over R, because this is belonging into the range space of T and range is found in the V3 over R. So 1 1 0 and 1 comma minus 1 comma 1, this belongs to V3 over R, and these two vectors are also Li. So if they are Li and they are in V3 over R, they must form the basis for the vector space V3 over R. And the method to check that it is Li or not, I have told you about that, so you can check it by yourself. They must form Li vectors. So if you want to check, then just consider two scalars from the set R and try to write them in the linear combination and equate it to the 0 vector. Just find the value of x and y, the scalars that you have chosen, that must be a 0 element. So from here we can say that these two vectors are Li. Now, so I am going to write it directly that these set of vectors, that is 1 1 0 and 1 comma minus 1 comma 1, this forms a basis basis of V3 over R. Moreover, I can say this forms a basis of V3 over R as well as range of T. So now if it forms a basis of range of T, then we know that the dimension of the space is determined by the elements of the basis. So the dimension of the, actually this will not form a basis for V3 over R because V3 has 3 elements and the dimension of V3 over R is 3, and it is not spanning V3 over R. This set of vectors belongs to V3 over R, but they cannot generate the whole V3 over R. That's why this will not form the basis for V3 over R. It is the basis for the range space of T. So, and the dimension, how many elements are there in this set? So the 2 elements are there. And from here we can say that the rank of T is equals to the dimension of R of T, and the dimension of R of T is the number of elements in the basis, that is equals to 2 because only 2 vectors are there. Now if you want to find the nullity, that is null space of T, just equate the given transformation to the 0 vector, that is T of AB equal to 0, 0, 0. Why I am taking this triad 0 vector? Because we have defined the transformation from V2 over R to V3 over R. So the 0 vector that belongs to the second space V3 over R, that must be in the form of triad. That's why I am writing it as. So let's write the given definition, that is A plus B, A minus B, comma B. So this can be written as A plus B, comma A minus B, comma B equals to 0, 0, 0. If we compare them, we get A plus B equals to 0, A minus B equals to 0, and B equals to 0. So if B is 0, A must be 0 because from here we are getting A equals to B. So both the elements, that is A and B, are 0. So the only vector which is mapped onto the 0 vector of V3 over R is the 0 vector of the V2 over R. So the 0, 0 is the only element of V2 over R that belongs to null space of T. So the dimension of null space of T is equals to 0 because the only 0 vector, as we know that the transformation always maps 0 vector to the 0 vector. So it represents that this is non-empty, but the dimension of this vector subspace becomes 0 because there are no non-zero elements that are mapped onto the 0 vector of the vector space V3 over R. There is some more concepts that I want to tell you, that is the rank nullity theorem, or we can also call it Sylvester law. It states that, I will give the proof of this theorem in my next video. I am going to just give a small hint about that rank of T plus nullity of T is equals to the dimension of first subspace, that is dimension of the first space is U. So the sum of these two is equals to the dimension of U. Now if we see our example, we have defined the transformation from V2 over R to V3 over R. If we see, the dimension of U is here given as 2. So dimension of U is what? 2. And we have calculated that the dimension of range space of T was also 2. From here, if we calculate the nullity of T, that is the dimension of null space of T, the nullity of T becomes 2 minus 2, that is 0. So nullity of T can also be calculated from here. I will discuss this property in my next video. So I hope you like my video. If you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.